Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Rule the Waves 3 as Germany, episode number 2. It is September 1890, which means we didn't even make it a full year in the first episode. I kind of think that things will go a little bit faster as the series moves on. Except for when we're at war, of course, and that is the first big ticket item. Try to navigate this tense relationship with France. Definitely do not bring in Great Britain. Just to do a quick recap of the state of affairs in the world. France does have us pretty sizably outnumbered. I'd like to point out that it's just comical, this line. Although battleships wise, we're only outnumbered 2-1. A little bit worse than 2-1. Tonnage wise, we're outnumbered like 5-1. That's not a good sign when you're not only outnumbered, but the ships that you have are just not good compared to the opponent. So that's not a good sign. Not the same situation in terms of armored cruisers. So hopefully if we do end up going to war, we can press our advantage in armored cruisers. And yeah, we're technically down in tonnage, but I see two things here. One, we're in the process of getting new armored cruisers, which I think are going to be very good, because those are the ones that I'm constructing. By the way, okay, I'll show that in a second. But our armored cruisers are, ton for ton heavier. That doesn't make sense, but each ship is heavier, and I think that generally translates to higher quality. Not always, but, as a first wave of the hand approximation. Light cruisers, we should be fine there, even though that's kind of running the same situation. Our light cruisers are not good, and they have never seen the might of our mighty armored corvettes. Okay, I did rename 2 of the Vogelands. I have not yet decided whether or not I will rename the original ships, but because they're kind of garbage and not mine, my first thought is not to. So, now, some of the names, I went through the names, and just as a reminder, the names should be German sounding, and I'm not going to get out my German dictionary or something. If you just make it as a first pass German-ish, so that if somebody came on the channel and they just looked at the names, they would not immediately know that the name you put in there, I mean, if it's like Drive Car Fast or something like that, that's just not a sensible name, or Mr. Poops a lot. These kind of things would get my children laughing, but not going to make the cut for the ship name. Okay, so let's move on. We have enough money to do more stuff, especially with all the increased funding, and that's on top of the fact that we've already mobilized, and you can see our ships now indicate that they're working up. When you change from like reserve to active fleet, there's going to be lots of little improvements in this game. This is probably like the final form. Who knows if it's actually the final form, but it feels to me like the final form of Rule of Waves. I also should point out that we also have shipbuilding capacity. It's very cool. Like we have not just a dock tonnage, but a total shipyard capacity which can be used. And that's a pretty good abstraction of the actual docks and slips and all that you'd be building in. So that's nice. You can't just because you have a dock size of 12,000 doesn't mean you can build 100 12,000 ton ships. So that's nice that they kind of make it so you can't just suddenly lay down infinite number of ships if you have the money. It will prevent a little bit the burst type building that I at least have a tendency to do. So it'll require a little more planning, and I like that. And I'm sure that we'll see a lot of other nifty little changes. Oh, okay, blockade. Yeah, that's right. I can't remember how blockade points were calculated previously. So, anyways, live and learn. Move on. 9 ships have finished well. Okay, Great Britain appears to be... Okay, we could always complain that the next disarmament conference is not a disarmament conference trigger itself, which would be pretty cool. I love those disarmament conferences, basically those Washington naval treaties. And the subsequent one, I actually can't remember. What was the subsequent one? There's a Washington Naval Treaty. Was it the next one, the Tokyo? I can't remember. The next one that basically did a lot of the other World War One the interwar. I can't remember what the other city was that the next one was held at. It's crazy, but I'm going to go with this because we need the money. Okay, our Schildkröte. Did I not give this a name, or did I give it? Oh, that is turtle. Okay, so I did this. You have a couple options. You can actually, when the design is finished, when the people have come back and they've built the design to spec in a way that it should work, and that's why it takes quite a while, because you just, hey, I want these many guns and this and that, and somebody actually has to go and map out how that all works. In this case, when they come back, you can say, okay, you know what? Technology has improved in the last 3 months. You guys took too long, and I want to change things. You can do that. Completely fine. I don't... so if you do that, of course, you're spending more money on the total design aspect, which doesn't by itself pay you any dividends. It's not... The ship is basically becoming more expensive. I don't... as an upside, if it doesn't change much, and this one is basically a 0% change, but it doesn't allow you to take a 0% change. So if you just do a few minor tweaks, then it won't be this. Any changes I do here will not incur the entire new cost of a new design. It'll just be a partial. Nonetheless, I don't think that we have any changes to make, although I'm looking at this and I really did a 1-inch conning tower, huh? Okay. But no, I'm going to leave that as is, so we're going to go ahead and build that ship. Now, I will definitely take the first one. I want to be able to build these in batch still, which means that I'm going to go ahead and build the Schildkröte. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and add let's just get, how many can we get? Monthly build cost of 2,100. We can get more than that. Let me get 4. I also do think I want some coastal fortification after originally kind of poo-pooing that. Let's get 4. That'll be a total of 5, and that's a good number. I'm not even sure how good this design is going to be, because it's something, but it's not, yeah. And okay, one person commented, I think it was Katori, but it might have been Gascan. I can't remember which of the two it was, but about I don't normally change the ammo types of things. Where's my doctrine? There it is. My goodness, hard to see it. However, it might behoove me or you or anybody, I think in the very beginning of the game, probably would behoove people in general to switch over to HE pretty significantly. Even for short range, anything. I think that basically you should be using HE almost all the time. So we can probably do this and this and this. We probably want to, okay, so I guess AP for 11-inch plus, but probably HE for anything, including if you're firing 4 to 6-inch guns, just only HE. And because of that, the ammo loadout should be distributed in favor of... So how does that work? Does it not... Doesn't it know how to auto-sort? Don't make me do this. Alright, we'll do 2/3, 1/3, something like that. I think 4 to 6-inch guns are basically only going to go with the wrong way, of course. I did it the wrong way. Okay, there. I think there could be a simple callback here that would make this job a little bit easier on us, but that's okay. We'll let it slide. Secondaries, yeah, secondaries need to be almost even over 2/3 HE. So this, I think you can get eke out a little bit more efficiency from your ships. I do want to make those changes, save those changes. Did I already save them? HE for everything. If you're firing at a battleship, for crying out loud, you can only fire HE. Short range 7 to 10 inch. This is the only one I'm not really sure about. Okay, I'm going to leave it as is because it's a little more conservative, but you probably get more bang for your buck this early on by even doing high explosive at close range. I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, based on what I saw, we're not going to penetrate anything, so yeah. All right, let's also go ahead and do this 50%. So we'll probably end up doing gunnery and torpedo warfare. Oh, damage controls also. Let's do damage control. I like that a lot. We're going to apply. It's going to take a while for this to go into effect. Okay, let's do it. And now, good. Our bunting balance is not terrible yet. That's great. Yeah, so you can tweak this a little bit more. And I suggest that if you are into like really tightening the gears of the game, that you do that. But I'm still learning, and I like to keep things moving at a relatively, okay, not a horribly slow pace, if at all possible. We have 2 months left before our dock size is upgraded. We'll probably just run that back again. Okay, the Undying is commissioned. That was I think that's the one with the 2 8-inch guns. We'll give this maximum exposure. I mean, not that we're trying to have the whole world go to war against us, but it does kind of look that way, doesn't it? But hey, the more ships we can get out here, the better. I just really, really don't want battleship engagements against the French. Ugh. There's been an uprising. Come on, game. In an African country in the focus of great power colonial ambitions, we need to send a force to evacuate our nationals and protect our interests. What size should the expeditionary force be? The way I view this, you may see here a gunboat, a cruiser, or a battleship, but the way I see this is peace, war with France, and Great Britain. So we're probably not going to take the bottom option. Although we might be able to get... Oh, look at that prestige. We'll be so popular with people when we are being murdered at war with both of them. Yeah, I think we have to go with a cruiser here. I don't think we can go with a gunboat. Although, look at that. All this one gains you is a little bit of prestige. We'll probably go with the gunboat then, because you know what? I don't really care about prestige, but the tensions being plus or plus plus versus plus plus. I mean, I'll take a battleship. It probably doesn't mean to say it this way. Maybe tensions does not go up equally for the bottom two. I presume that that's actually the case. But since I only see 2 pluses for both, the casual assumption is that they are equally bad. So we'll go with a gunboat. Yeah, because I just really can't... Oh my gosh, that did not... Did that have tensions go up? I thought it was... Yeah, I guess it did have tensions plus. Well, thank goodness we didn't choose any of the bottom options. That would have been bad. Another thing in the game, the division editor. I forgot. This is... I also had a mod for this. I had a division editor. It was only once you entered a battle. It was kind of not a very good way of doing it too, because you had to basically save the battle, do the division editor, and then go back into the battle. But this is just going to allow us to keep some ships together. And the way that, I mean, I'm sure that the people have complained for a long time about the fact that your ships, different like battleships of wildly different speeds, would be grouped into the same formation. In our case, it doesn't matter. All of our battleships are as slow as they can be. I don't even know if you can make a ship with only 13 knot speed. Does the game even allow it? Not only are these slow, but they're short range and cramped accommodations. Boy, we cannot get rid of these fast enough. I cannot wait. But in the meantime, we will add them to a battleship division. And I don't even know if it's worth breaking them into 2. Putting them all together. I just don't know. It doesn't... It doesn't... I think that there's no good option here, but we'll go ahead and put them all into the same division. This will be our flag... Well, should our flag be the armored cruiser instead? I'm going to see if I can make this one just core. And then let's see if I can make a new division, which is a armored cruiser division. And this is going to be for the Freyas. We'll put the 4 Freyas, including the 2 princes, into one division, and we'll call that our... I'm going to call this one our flag if we can. I've never tried it with the... Yeah, we can. Awesome. Okay, their experience working together is poor, because guess what? I only did this on the brink of war. But who knew we were going to war with France? Who could have seen it coming? Not me. I don't have a crystal ball. Sure, this tension meter that was hovering dangerously close to the black line, which indicates you're going to go to war. I could have used that, but I didn't. Enough pointing fingers. Everyone's a little bit to blame here. Not just the audience, the viewers, me, Tortuga. Everyone's a little bit to blame. I don't know if I want to make another one because I might send these Herthas onto raiding in 2 different spots. So they are all medium. Okay, so what do we got here? We probably should know what our fleet is doing, since we're probably going to have to use it in combat very soon. I really do like these armored cruisers. I'd give us good... Oh, speaking of Captain's mode. Are we in Captain's mode? Did they disable Captain's mode? I just don't know. Okay, pause on. Ah, here it is, Captain's mode. Okay, initial control of... They can have the destroyers, yeah. Pause on all these things. I think it's fine. Oh, English rank names. Okay, good. So for poor people like me who don't know what Capitan d'Erzay, anyways, Zur C. I forgot what the exact description of it was. Reduce flash fire risks, no friendly fire torpedo hits. No, let's have all those things. And then let's push on. Here's the Italian armored cruiser. 2 8-inch guns, 8 6-inch guns, 12 3-inch guns. It seems pretty reasonable. 21 knots. It's about the same weight as ours, so yeah. Okay, we were able to slip by one more. I'm going to lower our intel against the British just to try not to provoke them. But I will raise my intel against the French since I think it's pretty clear things are heading in one specific direction, and that direction is war. Okay, let's kind of take a look at the battle, the global map viewpoint, because we have a couple of colonies, and I haven't really looked at where our ships are stationed, so this is like not ideal. But I assume that we have people at our different colonies. The thing is, Germany does start off with some pretty scattered colonies, which I don't think I even remembered that when I was loading them up. I had this notion that, oh yeah, they don't have that many sea colonies. No, they do. Unfortunately. Because I really don't like the foreign stations management in this game. You can get away with just putting some ships on foreign station, and that will satisfy it. If you're lacking, you'll have a notification here, and tonnage on foreign stations will be in red, and it'll show you how much tonnage you're down. But it's really not a one number type thing. It's a one number per place. So that's a bad example. That's because of my home waters. Okay, here. So foreign station tonnage versus requirement. We have 5,000 tons of ships in southern Africa, and we need 2,000. It's based on how the colonies you have there. So we have 2,000 there. We need 2,000. But the problem is the places that also share a area with France, so specifically West Africa, we probably should prioritize making sure that we have more ships there, because that's also how invasions can be done, which I guess eventually auto build submarines. I hadn't even thought about submarines. I'm pretty sure we don't have technology for that yet. It shouldn't even be around until the early 1900s or so. I mean, I guess technically submarines were used. I know everyone talks about how there's one used during the Civil War, or was it even the Revolutionary War? They tried to use like the turtle. I think it was called the turtle. I don't remember, but yeah, it wasn't like a mass-produced real thing until, well, around this time frame. Oh, good. The 6 corvettes, those were actually what I was thinking about putting into foreign station, because Southern Africa, I assume the Madagascar is, thank goodness they tell you now, part of the Indian Ocean. So Southern Africa might be okay without a big defensive force. Unfortunately, we will be fighting in the Indian Ocean against 2 regions there. I mean, France has a lot of holdings, including in the Pacific. You can see, I mean, if I rest my cursor, you can see that France has a light cruiser here. We have absolutely nobody. No foreign station tonnage is required there. This is Central Pacific? Oh my gosh, thank goodness we don't have tonnage there. So we probably, if anything, need to put some ships in the Southern Pacific, because I can very easily see Bismarck Archipelago here getting swallowed up by some aggressive French action. We don't have to do anything in Southeast Asia. In fact, the main problem with that is, and they have 2 armored cruisers, and 1 armored cruiser and 2 light cruisers here. The main problem is that our route, 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess our route over to the South Pacific is underneath South America. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. So it is faster for us to go around. This is the Cape of Horn, Cape of Good Hope. I get the two. I don't know why I can never keep the two straight. One of these days. I've even told myself I need to make sure I memorize it, but it doesn't help. Alright, we're just going to keep plucking along here. Because I haven't decided what to do yet, so I'm just going to push forward in times of indecision. Instead of, actually stopping to think about things. British battleship. Hey, guess what? This is an actual battleship. This is something that I would say resembles a battleship. Unlike our 5,100 ton thing. Just, bit light on the armor. Hey, at least we've got one thing going for it. But they have 13-inch guns on this thing. My goodness. That's going to pack a wallop. Whew. 8 7-inch guns and then 16 2-inch guns. That's the last one. They're a little bit strange. But, they're doing their own thing. Our spies report that there are rumors in France about war with us. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, we have a couple of 6-inch batteries here. Do we have no... I guess we don't have any... Where did I even see that? Did I click on this? Huh. Well, we do have a lot of ships here. Okay, so this has 2 coastal batteries? What? 1? Okay, it has a 4-inch battery and a 6-inch battery. There we go. And East Prussia has nothing. So is this considered home territory? Because you get a discount on ones that are home. Okay, so the Eastern Germany is considered home area, but unfortunately, East Prussia is not considered a home area. So we won't get a discount. I think I'll add another battery here then, another 6-inch battery. Just one. I don't know what that bottom thing said anyway. And do we need fortifications in other places? I'm not going to do it because we're not likely to... I don't even think we can lose Eastern Germany. But we can probably lose any of the other possessions. And I don't want to even risk investing the money into building a fortification until after the war is over. When probably we won't have any money to do it anyway. But that's a problem for future Tortuga. Well, I mean... People are... Crew quality is good. It's going to come down to the battles. Let's do it. Still waiting one more, huh? I mean, the more time they give me, I'm just going to get stronger and stronger. That's not actually true. Unless they wait 9 months, which I don't think we'll be able to make it 9 months. I should actually start thinking about... I mean, our monthly balance is really good here. What if we did decide to build a battleship? Which would never be ready in time for this war, but something which is not awful. Okay, well, we haven't gotten... What's my research priority? I should change this up a little bit. This is on high. That is exactly what I was going to make sure we did. And wait. I don't understand. What do you mean right-click to change priority? Okay, I see. This is a label for both general and naval, and it doesn't switch off. I thought we actually had a chance to, prioritize one gun, which would be really cool. But maybe, I don't know. I mean, I could see the reason why it's not allowed. But yeah, I mean, the take-home point is the best we can do is 11-inch guns. I'd probably want to do 11-inch guns. We have... Oh, yeah, our dock size has gone up, so let's build that as well. Just future-proof, always future-proof. Okay, so I don't know why they want to build us such crap. Can you build me something that isn't crap? No, that's crap. Less crappy. That's less crappy. Thank you. Okay, now this is now we're talking. First of all, no, we do not want to spend any kind of tonnage on speed this early on. So we're going to take that down. I think we'll probably stay at 17. I may even do that. Get rid of that. Let's go to normal. Wow, belt extended of No, we don't need that. We'll take upper belt and belt extended of 5. A deck of 2 if we can swing it, which we can't yet, but, you know, let's hold on to that dream and see if we can get it by lowering the conning tower a little bit. Ah, man, I need this one up too, and I need that up too. Okay, so we have a lot of 6-inch guns, and we have a lot of 3-inch guns. You know what? I unfortunately, I really do like this distribution. So there's a couple things we can do. We can try to raise the tonnage of the ship. See, this is 70, 70, 60. That's a good jump right there, 70-ish. Not as good of a jump. So let's try this, 12,800. You can probably lower the... I mean, I just talked about how armor is everything and that the main caliber guns is not that important. We could go to 10-inch guns. That saves us quite a lot. I think we're going to do that. Let's go to 10-inch guns. Then we can get more secondaries. I like the way we're going. I like this direction. Let's get up to 6 if we can again. Oh, I like it. I like it. Conning tower, I'm sorry, you can stay there. Okay, good. And then we can maybe get some more ammunition, because this is just a little bit low. Just a teensy bit. Whoa! It's, you know, actually for 6-inch guns, we don't need more than 200. And this looks fine too. We have 8 of those. Hell, we can probably swing another couple of those. All right, I'm starting to like this thing. You know, this is the problem when you start designing. You're not sure you're gonna keep it, but then you're like, oh yeah, I really like this thing. I'm definitely gonna keep it. And we are, yeah. Okay. I don't see any glaring weakness. Accommodations are normal. That's good. Okay. Short range is going to be good enough for this. Thank you for the people who commented that the VTE is the vertical triple expansion steam engine, I think. Yeah, so it's just basically just an old steam engine. Okay, so belt 6.6. I don't feel like we really need the belt extended, but, you know, at the same time, actually we should keep it because armor is everything, and I should stick to the plan, which is, you know, make sure you know that armor is everything. We're only down 9. I wonder if we can go to like 107. Okay. And conning now 200. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Okay, cool. What does it cost to go to 108? All right, I think I'd rather do that. Wow, geez. See these, they're very expensive, these rounds. In fact, I can get that extra conning tower, but I don't want it. Let's go back up to 7. Okay, good enough. Let's leave it here. Let me find out what the name of this ship is going to be. And it will be the Schweitzer. All right, well, welcome to the fleet after you finish your training and all that. I mean, your design period. So good, we have this secret weapon in our back pocket, and if things go well, and if the French decide to hold off on war for about 4 years, we will have it. Until then, we will only have garbage, probably better off being scrapped. I'm serious, actually. It's a serious consideration, and let me explain a little bit. I haven't seen how the battle generator works in World Waves 3, and let's hope that there's been some improvements. But previously, so for the past decade of World Waves play, you would just, there's like a lot of ship class matching. So if I have battleships, then they have battleships. And that will mean that my battleships, which are garbage, will go up against somebody else's battleships, which are really good. So we hope that doesn't happen. But it might. Oh, okay, they want to get another on a discount. So this is 16 months. I think that the discount is the fact that this is reduced by 2 months. which is 10% of the months, more or less. And we'll take that offer. And I do need to name these things, but let me do the naming of the ships which are being constructed. I'll do that off camera. Enter a technology sharing agreement with a company in Italy. Yes. Yes, we do want that. We very much want that. Okay, I don't know if that's going to help our research. I kind of thought that it might. I hope it does. Okay, here we go. It looks like we made it a whole episode without going to war, which is surprising. A gunnery competition for all ships in the Navy believes the increased morale and combat readiness of the fleet. Absolutely, this is a great idea. Because we... So competitions do not give training relevant to combat situations. Yeah, no, I don't. Let's do it. Now, Arcona, did she get a little bonus? No, she's still good. Sometimes you'll actually see them jump to elite. And hopefully, with all this time we have, that our gunnery and damage control is going to be better off in the fights. We'll see. Alright, there's been an internal upheaval in Albania. Italy is apparently sending a force there ostensibly to restore order, but is likely that they have more far-reaching plans. What do you recommend? This is of no concern to somebody who does not want to anger the British. Actually, I wonder if we should push for an international force to thwart their expansionist plans. I actually want Italy to take Albania. There's a funny concept in this game, which is that the neutrals are impossible to conquer. Albania is neutral, it's impossible to conquer. The only places that you can conquer are places that are territory of the other factions. So it's almost a great thing for even if your worst enemy is going to take territory, it's good because then you can just take it from them. I mean, there's no other way of getting it unless you get this random event. So that's why I don't want to do anything. Okay, good. So now they've actually taken control of Albania. Fantastic. And hopefully they remember who it was who just so easily allowed them to do that. And by the way, has Italy even thought about how, backwards things are in France lately? I wonder if there's anybody who needs trains to run on time in Italy, because, the Germans are very efficient, and we can help them with that. Maybe we should propose an alliance. The Schweitzer is ready to go. I don't think we need to review it, so we'll just go to the build screen. And I don't know how many we want, but really, honestly, we need a lot of these. We can't afford that many. I'm going to make 2, which is probably beyond what we can afford as well, but we really need some battleships. It's nice to have light cruisers and armored cruisers and all, but, battleships ultimately, there's nothing... You want your best ship to be better than their best ship, so that if worst comes to worst, that you have a place your battle line can fall back to that. Even if it's slow. I mean, it's frustrating when it's slow and they just run away from you, but it's even more frustrating when they run away to a ship that you can't beat. Then it's like, oh, I don't even want to go close to that thing. Okay, oil has been discovered in Sardinia. Oil is a concern, by the way. Okay, boom times. There's been a windfall in tax revenues. What is your recommendation? We're going to build the long term. Now, this actually does have an effect, as far as I know, on the long-term budget versus short-term budget. We can do strengthen the Navy, which also increase tensions. Probably not the right thing. Railroads are just going to increase the budget long-term, so we definitely want that. This still has a small amount of budget increase. We lose a little prestige. It might have an impact on unrest levels, but I don't know that. I'm just kind of speculating suddenly. By the way, when's our last refit for some of these guys? Okay, so they all are technically 1889, which means that we don't have to refit anyone for a while. Ships get obsolete after about 10 years, a little bit less for frigates, and then you just need to do a refit of some kind. But it's basically just I can just show you the interface. Oops. Where? Oh, there it is. Open design for rebuild. I thought I clicked that, but I must not have. Yeah, so you can do this, and then there's a lot of things you can't change on a redesign, you can't change the belt armor. Can't change the deck armor. You can't do all these things because it basically just would be building a new ship entirely. And why the hell is this thing so overweight? Okay, if we were to build it today, it would be 10 tons underweight. Unfortunately, the way it is right now, it was built severely overweight. I would call that severely overweight. That's almost to the limit of where you can't even launch it. That's not good. Oh, yes! Crews are deemed proficient in the new tactics. And we got our 6-inch coastal battery. Oh, interesting. Russian government is offering to sell us the rights to 12-inch guns for quality -2. We'll absolutely take this. I think that buying technology, much like in real life, is probably very good to do. 4,800 is a bit expensive, but, you know, we can afford it. And we have now started research into the fascinating new research area of subdivision and damage control. Yeah, especially now that our crews are trained in it. We better start researching it. Which does beg the question, what exactly it means that our crews are trained in something they didn't even know existed until this month. Which is obviously absurd. We know that, I mean, this is just a... I'm assuming that this technology, which has just been unlocked, is mostly just going to be technology from 1890s on. Anyways, my goodness, it's already been 37 minutes almost, and we're going to wrap this up here. So we actually survived another episode not going to war. I thought, oh, here, wait. Interesting. I'm going to pause and think about this for a second. Oh, well, the hell with it. If they want to fight, we're ready for them. We're not, but war has broken out. And that's where I'll leave you. A nice little cliffhanger. We're really out of time, otherwise I wouldn't do it this way. But there we go. And see you back for episode 3, where we'll be at war with France. It was always going to be Germany versus France, right? I think there's a long legacy of this. Until then, thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.